Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Wyrock. And in today's episode, we're asking the question, do you need a Doge? Doge has been in the headlines lately a lot. You might say it's the only thing that's been in the headlines. Doge, by the way, DOGE, stands for Department of Government Efficiency. It's the new organization that President Trump has launched, led by Elon Musk, looking at waste and inefficiency in the government and how to cut it. And boy, have they been cutting. As of the time of this recording, 85 contracts have been terminated for the federal government, resulting in a $1 billion cut to the budget. And that sounds staggering, except for that is only 25% of their daily goal. That's right. Doge is setting out to cut $4 billion a day out of the federal budget, which they hope will result in a year total of $1 trillion being cut from the federal budget. As you might imagine, this is causing a lot of angst. I mean, some people love it. Some people feel like the government has been wasting money for a long time, and it's about time someone held them accountable. Other people are pointing to meaningful programs or projects that are being cut that we might regret cutting one day. I'll let you figure out where you stand with the government entity Doge. It feels beyond my expertise, but it does have me thinking a lot about evaluation. And here's the thing I think most Christians need to hear. We need our own version of Doge. What I mean by that is that the Bible has a lot to say about personal evaluation, about undergoing your own kind of efficiency study to ask, am I living the life that I'm supposed to live? Am I living the life that I want to live? I think, for example, of Hebrews 12, where the writer says, let us lay aside the sin and the distractions that get in the way of what we're doing. But that makes me ask, when's the last time I actually sat down, took a look at my life, my calendar, my budget, my mental and emotional state, and said, what is the sin and what are the distractions that are getting in the way? Because my life is a lot like the federal government. Left unchecked, I just keep adding things. Left unquestioned, I just keep experiencing drift and waste. I'm in need of renewal. I'm in need of looking and taking stock and eliminating the things that shouldn't be there and eliminating the things that get in the way of Jesus. After all, the psalmist will pray in Psalm 51, create in me a clean heart and renew a spirit within me. That sense of renewal is true. Life has a way of drifting me away from God. And it takes a pretty meaningful process of examination to send me back. It's the very process Paul had in mind in Romans 12 when he says to be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Well, why do I need a renewal? Because my mind tends to move me away from God, not towards him. And the Bible does tell me that one day I am going to give an account of my life to God. In Matthew 25, Jesus tells us that we'll be divided into the sheep and the goats. The sheep, God's people, are going to be the ones who not only confess faith in Jesus, but that faith in Jesus led to them doing the things Jesus called them to do, to care for the sick, to care for the poor, to care for those in prison, to take care of widows and orphans, and on and on. All this to say, what would it look like for you and I to set some time aside to undergo a personal kind of Doge, a department of life efficiency, to ask ourselves whether the rhythms of our lives are taking us where we want to go, whether they're leading us ultimately to God. I think sometimes we don't want to do that kind of evaluation because we're worried about what we might find. We might be not as far along as we wish we were. But of course, I want to remind you that where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more. When we go to God with lives of drift, lives of excess, lives of waste, we will find a God who is merciful and kind and forgiving. but we'll also find a God who wants to make a few cuts. There is no reason our lives can't be the kingdom advancing, kingdom moving, God saturated, Holy Spirit experiencing kind of lives that we want them to be, but they won't get there by accident. So this weekend, find some time to undergo your own review and eliminate the things that are getting in the way of you following Jesus. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. It really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.